Good afternoon, and we do begin today with breaking news. We just confirmed an Ohio State trooper hit and killed on I-90 this afternoon. Part of the highway, as you can see behind us, is still closed.
Our Derek Waller has been following the details all afternoon, and he begins our team coverage. Derek, what have you learned about the trooper?
Well, this is a very serious accident that has I-90 westbound closed near the Cleveland-Lakewood border. Let me show you what's going on right here. We're at Warren Road, which runs into Alger on I-90, and you can see that there are investigators on the scene right now, have the entire road blocked off. They're working to figure out exactly how this happened. They've got evidence markers out there and investigators on the scene, a team of investigators. You see that black car down at the end, just past that tape, that black Hyundai hatchback. I'm told that's the car that hit Trooper Kenneth Velez. Kenneth Velez of the Cleveland Post was hit basically when he pulled over another vehicle, got out of his cruiser, and that's when I'm told that black Hyundai hit and killed him. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Now this has got I-90 westbound blocked and backed up for some time, several miles. In fact, we've seen traffic just flowing down Lakewood Heights, this Lakewood Heights road, because 90 is closed. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you're coming home from work from downtown going west on 90. You basically want to avoid it because it is completely shut down for several miles. You'll want to obviously find another way to get out of here. But again, the breaking news is that just around 1 o'clock this afternoon, an Ohio State trooper was hit and killed on I-90 westbound near the Cleveland-Lakewood border. This is expected to be closed for several hours, so again, an area that you want to avoid. We're going to stay out here and bring you the latest as we know more. For now, we're live in Cleveland. Derek Waller, News Channel 5.
Derek, thank you. Tragic story we will update in a bit. Meantime, new details emerging right now in the case of a suspected serial killer in Ashland. Just in, criminal charges filed against Sean Michael Great.
Our Bob Jones is live in Ashland, and Bob, you were at that hearing. What happened?
Well, within the last couple of hours, the Ashland County prosecutor filed charges against Sean Michael Great, 2 counts of murder and 1 count of kidnapping. He actually has a bond hearing that is scheduled at 5:15 this afternoon via Skype, and we will be there in the courtroom. That kidnapping charge relates to the woman who called 911 and escaped an Ashland home on Tuesday. The charge indicates Great held her against her will for the purpose of sexual activity. Great is charged with murder for the death of Stacy Stanley and for killing another woman whose remains were unidentified, and she is listed as a Jane Doe tonight. Prosecutors are still reviewing evidence and have not said if they will seek aggravated murder charges or the death penalty. In addition, sources say Great confessed to killing a 3rd woman in Richland County back in June. Back at that vacant house in Ashland, where 2 of those bodies were found, a memorial of flowers and teddy bears continues to grow, and the doors and windows were boarded up today. If convicted on the current charges, Great could be looking at 15 years to life for the murders and 3 to 11 years behind bars for the kidnapping. Coming up tonight at 5 and 6, we will talk with people who were emotional today at that crime scene and who know at least one of the victims. And again, that bond hearing for Sean Michael Great scheduled for 5:15 this afternoon here in Ashland. Live for the Now, Bob Jones in Ashland.
A 13-year-old boy shot and killed by a Columbus police officer. The department says last night he pulled a gun from his waistband. It turned out to be a BB gun. This incident comes nearly 2 years after the case of Tamir Rice right here in Cleveland. Kristen Volk joining us live now. Kristen, these 2 cases, very similar.
So similar, Rob. Both kids had fake guns, both fatally shot by police officers. And in Tamir's case, it happened here outside the Cadell Rec Center. The infamous gazebo behind me just got dismantled. It's taken to a museum in Chicago. And today we spoke to a local law professor who tells us that he is not shocked that the same sort of situation happened again. This time, it was in Columbus.
The only time we look at use of force is when something happens, and we only look at that particular case. We don't take a step back and look at the bigger picture and ask, why is it that the rule is police officers become afraid, that justifies shooting? Well, why are they afraid in the first place?
Michael Benza, a law professor at Case Western Reserve University, says the only way to stop police from shooting kids with fake guns is to implement systemic changes, which he says did not happen after the death of Tamir Rice. And now we have the death of 13-year-old Tyree King. The Columbus Police Department says an officer there fatally shot the young teen last night here on Hoffman Street, believing he was a robbery suspect. They say King pulled a gun from his waistband and that's when the officer fired. The gun turned out to be this BB gun. Benza says what should have happened after the death of Tamir Rice is standardized police training across the state and comprehensive use of force research. Plus, he says a change in the ability to get fake guns that look real is needed. And he favors a change in the federal law, which says if an officer is afraid, he or she is allowed to use deadly force. That law professor tells me that as it stands now, the shooting in Columbus would be justified. That's what he believes, but he also cautions that we only have preliminary information at the moment. Live in Cleveland, I'm Kristen Volk, News Channel 5.
All right, Kristen, thank you. We have another traffic situation to tell you about. We already talked about what was happening on I-90. This is I-71 northbound. Closed right now at West 150th because of another accident there. Drivers are asked to use 480 west to I-77 north as your alternate. Traffic very slow on I-71 southbound. This begins at Denison Avenue. Again, another traffic situation. We'll keep you up to date here. Now we go up top. We can go to John Rudder, high above the scene, above I-90, where a state trooper has been killed in the line of duty.
Yeah, Rob, you can see the scene right now. There's still several investigators on the scene. Just getting rolling with you here in Air Tracker 5. As I zoom out, you can see just how extensive this is. The investigators that we just saw a couple of minutes ago, they're focusing on this area, this black car on your screen, kind of off to the left side of I-90 westbound. And if you can look closely as I zoom in and try to get focused here, it does look like there's some damage to the windshield and to the top of that vehicle. You can still see that investigators are still taking some measurements and marking down a number of things. But again, this I-90 westbound still closed. We're told that ODOT is actually diverting traffic off of I-90 at 71, and I did hear you mention another traffic incident on 71. So we will continue to check that out. We will update you on conditions along 90 and detours here as we get rolling in Air Tracker 5, but we'll send things back to the studio and check back in with you here in a couple of minutes, Rob.
Very busy news day, John. Thank you. It's been nearly 2 years since 12-year-old Tamir Rice was shot and killed by Cleveland police officers, and today, construction crews continued to dismantle the gazebo where that all took place. Tamir's family wanted this gazebo taken down. It's being disassembled so it can be taken to a museum in Chicago where it will be put on display. The family originally wanted this demolished, but then realized its historical significance. We did reach out to museum officials in Chicago to learn their plans for this display. They have not responded.
Now to Wisconsin, where a 13-year-old brought a BB gun to school. The BB gun was plastic. When officers confronted the teen in the school office, he got violent with 2 officers. The 2 officers were injured and were treated at the hospital. Right now, police and school officials in Findlay are investigating after a disturbing photo was posted on social media. Take a look. It's 2 14-year-old Findlay High School students holding plastic guns and a sign that reads, "I hate everyone, you hate everyone, let's shoot up the school at homecoming." Above the picture, there were more disturbing words that say if school shootings was a sport, America would get the gold. The photo made its way to school officials who called police Tuesday. The school's principal says the girls have been suspended and a meeting is planned to discuss possible expulsion. He says there is currently no credible threat to anyone or at school or homecoming. Findlay police say the girls could be looking at disorderly conduct charges.
Okay, it's been a wild few minutes here. Let's slow down now and take a look at the weather. You can see the picture behind us. Traffic problems, yes, but also a beautiful day.
Gorgeous day.
Yeah, it looks like all of us need to be staying off the roadways, that's for sure. Just hang out with us for a little bit or make your way outside. It is gorgeous today, picture perfect. We do have some high-level cirrus clouds. We are expecting some bright blue skies, but these high-level cirrus clouds often precede showers and thunderstorms. So when do they arrive? They'll be coming in later. Not today, though. I'll talk about timing on that change in your forecast in just minutes. For right now, 74 for us in Cleveland. Dew point very low. So, ladies, the hair actually looking nice without stepping outside and it frizzing up on us. We do have a little bit of a breeze, though, that's shuffling the hair around at 15 miles per hour out of the northeast, but we do expect they'll die down a little bit here past the lake. 74 for us in Cleveland, to 74 in Coshocton, too, but warmer in Millersburg as well as for New Philadelphia. Even warmer, 78, the warmest that I'm seeing here in Minner. 76 for us in Ashland to 75 in Fremont. High pressure dominating yet again for today. We're awaiting our next rainmaker. It's still well back west, producing showers and thunderstorms towards Minneapolis, but It also allows us to see some more summer-like temperatures. We're right where we should be. So if you've got summer on the brain, you want to grill out tonight, 60s for you this evening. Perfect for it. No wind, no humidity. Unless you're close to the lake, you've got a little bit of wind there. But we'll take a look at your hour by hour coming up in just minutes. For now, Megan, over to you.
All right, thanks, Tara. Medical marijuana advocates are concerned about how long it will take Ohio's medical board to create rules for doctors prescribing the drug. The medical board met yesterday for the first time since the new law went into effect. The board says they plan to study laws and successful practices in other states. The board has exactly 1 year to create the guidelines. And Cleveland Public Schools get a failing grade from the Ohio Department of Education. The state just released school districts' performance grades, and CMSD received a failing grade in every category for 2016. The districts are graded on student achievement, annual progress, gap closing, graduation rate, K-3 literacy, and prepared for success. Graduation rates were also incorporated into report cards, along with literacy progress for struggling readers from kindergarten to 3rd grade.
Okay, let's take a break right here. We continue to follow the breaking news, though, on I-90. A trooper hit the interstate, still shut down. We've got the latest coming up in just a bit.
Plus, it's been 1 year since a little life was taken too soon, caught in the crossfire. How families of little ones like Major Howard deal with the tragedy together.
You are watching the Now Cleveland, again, high above the scene of tragedy on I-90 this afternoon. We're coming right back in 3 minutes.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Welcome back to the Now. I-71 northbound closed right now. This is at West 150th because of an accident there. Drivers are asked to use 480 West to 77 North as your alternate. We're told traffic's very slow right now on 71 southbound. That begins at Denison Avenue.
And we continue to follow breaking news as an Ohio State trooper hit and killed on I-90. The interstate is closed right now at westbound at Warren Road.
As you can imagine, a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's going to affect your afternoon commute.
John Rutter is going to give you a breakdown on the traffic.
Yeah, Megan, we are above that scene right now, and I just spoke with ODOT briefly before we took off. They say that obviously I-90 West is currently closed on 71, and all traffic is being diverted onto I-71 South to I-480. They also say if motorists access I-90 West between I-490 and West 117th Street, they are being diverted off at West 117th Street. They also say that they are unsure and unclear when this highway will be reopened. You can see there are still investigators on scene. They are focusing most of their attention on this black car off to the side of the road right now, and they're paying a lot of attention. There is some damage to it. Let's go to our traffic maps, though, right now, so we can try and check out traffic throughout the rest of Cleveland, because this is obviously causing some backups throughout the area. You can see right now we're looking at the area where that crash is happening, but as we zoom out, you can still see that there are some backups throughout the area. Also on 71, on 90, that backup extends on 90 through Dead Man's Curve, and even seeing some slowdowns on 480. So some large trickle-down effects because of this accident on 90, and we're also told there was another accident, as you were just talking about, on 71 near about West 150th, I believe, that other accident you were talking about. We'll continue to keep you up to date from Air Tracker 5 and let you know the latest details, and we'll continue to stay on top of things here from our breaking news leader in the sky. But for now, we'll send things back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Now, we have other news now for drivers who live west of Cleveland. More traffic news, I guess. The new Interbelt Bridge opens in just over a week. We have learned that ODOT will hold a ribbon cutting on the 24th. The bridge then opens to traffic on the 25th.
But don't expect the entire bridge to be open at first. Paul Kiska is live on the roads tonight. Paul, what can drivers expect when it all reopens?
Well, after 6 long years, the brand new inbound or eastbound Interbelt Bridge, depending on what you refer to it as, will open to traffic next weekend. But it's going to be a few more weeks before all of those lanes, 5 lanes in each direction, open to traffic. Construction on a new Interbelt Bridge started 6 years ago. It's been detours and delays ever since. Soon it will all be worth it when the entire new bridge opens to 5 lanes in each direction. But not all lanes will open during next weekend's ribbon cutting on the inbound bridge. While 2 lanes inbound will open to traffic next Sunday, all 5 lanes won't open in each direction for 6 more weeks as finishing touches are put on the bridge. More exit and on-ramps will reopen in the next few weeks as well, including the West 14th ramp from Tremont.
West 14th Street ramp to inbound I-90 will also be reopening, but not on Sunday. But by the end of October, all those ramps I listed.
140,000 vehicles use the Interbelt Bridge every day. Live from near the Interbelt, Paul Kiska for The Now.
Thanks, Paul. The family of a Texas woman who died in jail after she was pulled over will get $1.9 million. That's a settlement they just reached after her arrest came under national scrutiny.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
You may remember this traffic stop in July of last year. Sandra Bland was pulled over for a minor traffic infraction, but ended up in jail and committed suicide 3 days later. The incident gained national attention, and the officer was fired after he was indicted for lying about what happened. Today's settlement also includes de-escalation training for troopers and changes to how the jail is run. In a scary moment for United Airlines passengers, pilots were forced to make an emergency landing in Denver last night after FBI says crew members located a suspicious device on board. When the flight landed, the passengers were evacuated, and the FBI bomb squad, along with the Denver Police Bomb Unit, searched the entire plane. The plane was eventually deemed safe, and passengers reboarded the aircraft to continue on to their destination. The plane was traveling from Newark to San Diego.
Jury selection continues today in the murder trial of a Georgia father accused of intentionally leaving his son in a hot car to die. Justin Harris has been in jail since his June 2014 arrest for malice murder and felony murder. His attorneys say he left his 22-month-old son, Cooper, in the car. That trial scheduled to begin on October 3rd. If Harris is convicted of murder, he does face life in prison. Now, there is a new effort right now to keep kids from dying inside hot cars. Lawmakers introduced a bill today that would require car makers to install technology that alerts drivers if there's a child still in the back seat. It's called the Hot Cars Act of 2016. That's an acronym. It stands for Helping Overcome Trauma for Children Alone in Rear Seats. 29 kids have died in this manner so far this year.
And new on the Now, the man accused of setting this mosque on fire where the Orlando nightclub shooter worshipped says he's embarrassed by what he did. In the arrest affidavit just released today, 32-year-old Joseph Schreiber confessed to the arson and said he never intended to hurt anyone. It also points out anti-Islamic posts and made on social media because he's a repeat felon. He could not get life in prison or at least 30 years. He appeared in court today via closed-circuit camera. A judge ordered him held without bond.
Okie dokie, we've made our way over to the Weather Center. Tara, beautiful day today. Congratulations.
Gorgeous.
Thank you for that as well.
Right? It's picture perfect, honestly.
All the way through the weekend, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. See you guys later.
Not our weekend.
We do have some rainfall moving in. I think you're still going to have a good 24 hours.
Okay.
Before we start to see it change. All right, let's get to that forecast for you. When it comes to expecting conditions here tonight, no issues at all. Beautiful blue skies in Ashtabula. Hopefully you had a great day in school here for us in Ashtabula County. Temperatures staying in the lower 70s, middle 70s for some, as you can see here in Euclid. This is right where we should be this time of the year. It's just the 80s. We've been nicely sprinkled throughout, even some 90s recently. So 70s does feel cooler. 72 for us in Parma, no rainfall. There's barely any clouds out there. High-level cirrus clouds do not produce any showers for you. 72 for us in Mentor, 73 in Orwell to 71 in Ashtabula. Heading south, more sun. Alliance at 73 degrees. 74 in Barberton to 76 right now for Brunswick. I think dinner out on the patio or the deck sounds like the perfect plan. 77 for us in Ashland. What are you making for us?
I'll cook.
He's going to make some hamburgers and hot dogs. 72 for us at Elyria, now to 69 in Marblehead. Would have been a good day to be in Sandusky at Cedar Point if the kids didn't have to be in school. Well, we do have some nice weather for them once school's nicely done and all the practices are over. Some clear skies here in the overnight hours as we drop back down to the 50s and 60s. High pressure dominating. Here's that 24-hour rule I was giving you. The reason I say 24 is because we're going to start to see a warm front move in for Friday night. Friday, very late. We're talking 3 a.m., I think, on. We could start to see a shower or a thunderstorm, but for the most part, it looks like Saturday is going to be the on and off wet day. Starting out here 6 a.m., here's our first round. There's another round, potentially some thunderstorms, but good news. Not expecting severe weather. An additional round for us right at dinner time when you want to make your way out of the house. And then it starts to lighten up as we head into the overnight hours as well as into your Sunday forecast. But the Browns home opener on Sunday. Can we move out the rain? We'll take a look at those details coming up. Rob?
Keep our fingers crossed for that one. We've been covering breaking news for you. Here's a little bit of what's going on right now. I-71 northbound closed at West 150th because of an accident there. You can see the mess it's creating right now on the roads. It's even, the buildup has grown since the last time we looked at this picture. Drivers are asked to use 480 West and then head to 77 North. That's your alternate route. Traffic very slow right now on 71 southbound. That all begins at Denison Avenue. We'll stay on top of it for you and have more throughout the hour. Still to come, fire after fire, explosion after explosion. Today, Samsung shines a little more light on what the problem could be with its smartphones.
And happy Thursday, Cleveland. This is the Now. Don't change that channel. We're coming right back.
Yes. Sure. Are we doing Chopper? He rolled me with Chopper. Oh, okay. Okay, and that's fine. Oh, I didn't know if I was tossing to John. That's all I was asking. I don't, whatever. They also have that video. And then are we using video or the picture of the man of Velez? Oh. Okay, in that VO is a picture. Is this picture in there? We're using this picture? Are we using this picture at all? Have we used this picture?
What picture? This picture?
The picture of the dude who got killed.
No, oh. No, we haven't even...
So did we use the picture at all at 4? His picture? We have his picture. No, not the VO. We have a picture that was emailed. I thought that someone was... Okay. Yeah, we have his picture. It's in... No, we made the VO before we got the picture. The picture came at like 3:39, so I thought that...
We continue to follow breaking news. An Ohio State trooper hit and killed on I-90. The interstate closed right now at westbound at Alger Road.
Let's take a look now. This is going to affect your afternoon commute. It's going to affect a lot of things throughout the afternoon. Let's go high in the sky now. John Rutter. I'm sorry, we're going to Derek Waller now with more information on the ground on this tragic afternoon. Derek.
A very tragic afternoon, and let me just show you what's going on right now. I-90 westbound near the Lakewood-Cleveland border, as you mentioned, near Alger Road, and they've got the entire road shut down, the westbound lanes, as investigators continue trying to figure out exactly what happened here. We have some preliminary information. I can tell you that State Trooper Kenneth Velez is the victim here. He passed away at the hospital after being hit by a black Hyundai around 1 o'clock this afternoon. So on the shoulder of the highway is a black Hyundai where there's a group of investigators circling it right now. And basically we understand that he got out of his cruiser making a traffic stop, and that's when he was struck by that black Hyundai. There's now actually a tow truck on the scene that's positioning itself in front of the Hyundai, so it looks like that might be towed away soon. But we were told by State Highway Patrol, that this will continue to be closed for several hours. Obviously, that's going to affect your afternoon commute. This is closed for several miles. I know that traffic is backed up on 90 westbound for several miles, so something certainly to take into consideration as you're trying to get home tonight. That's the latest here from Cleveland. Derek Waller, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Derek, for that up-to-the-minute coverage. And as you can imagine, this will affect your afternoon commute. John Rutter is going to give you a breakdown on the traffic.
Yeah, Megan, you're looking at the Interbelt Bridge right now, and you can see traffic is moving slowly, and as it approaches 71, that is where traffic will not be able to access 90 headed any further west. That traffic was initially being diverted onto 71 southbound, but again, another crash is tying up traffic along 71. I'm going to keep zooming out to show you just how traffic is backing up on I-490 as well. You can see heavy traffic there. That traffic backs all the way up to that 77 and East 55th exit. Just looks like a parking lot right now, and then everything obviously backs all the way up after that traffic that dumps out from 77. That traffic all the way backs up all the way to 90 near the Prospect Avenue 77 split. So we're dealing with heavy traffic issues here along I-90. I'm reaching out to ODOT to try to get the latest information on detours, but if we can head to our traffic maps quickly, I can show you exactly where all of this is taking place. You can see there's red along 71. That is where that crash is taking place. That has traffic backed up there as well. Here along 490, also we're having traffic backups as well. Again, I'm trying to get the latest information from ODOT on detours and where you can get around all of these backups. But for now, we'll send you back to the studio. I'll continue to provide updates here from Air Tracker 5 as soon as I get them. Back to you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on today, John. Thank you very much.
Don't change that channel. We're going to be right back. Welcome back. Kids caught in the crossfire. That's been the horrifying reality on Cleveland streets where innocent children have been subjected to inner city violence.
Well, the harsh reality here is that some don't survive. And when that happens, the Now's Lauren Wilson tells us one local cemetery has a spot where they all rest together.
It's called Babyland here at the Cleveland Memorial Gardens Cemetery on Green Road. And if you drive down this path, almost immediately you'll see rows of children and baby headstones all in one spot. One of them is 3-year-old Major Howard, who was shot and killed a year ago today. Nothing but silence and peace now surrounds the more than 60 children buried in this lot.
We just thought it more fitting for him to be with the children.
It's been a year since Victor Freeman has been able to hold his 3-year-old grandson, Major Howard.
This past year has been, I honestly can say, one of the roughest 12 months of my life.
Visiting Babyland, he's constantly reminded that he's not alone.
It's heart-wrenching, really, because I know if I go through the pain, how they're going through the pain.
As I walked with him, we saw 1-year-old Braylon Robinson, who was accidentally shot and killed by a 3-year-old last summer. And then, down the road from Major, Victor saw a familiar face.
To know that I actually helped search for this young baby.
3-year-old Emilion Terry went missing and was later found dead in the trash back in 2012.
It touched my heart.
As eerie and heartbreaking as it may seem that they're all here together, I'm told there's actually a practical reason behind it.
Economically speaking, those spaces are going to be Quite a bit less, and you can kind of outline a section in the cemetery based upon size of casket.
Thomas Smith has been in the funeral business for more than 30 years, bearing multiple children in Babyland.
It's kind of special.
Though he says one of the most difficult parts of his job is watching families leave their babies for good.
It's that final part where you know you're not going to see them ever again.
Major Howard's grandfather tells me he and his family are still trying to deal with that truth.
It's tough. You try to not forget what happened, but you try to move forward.
Now, this is not just unique to Cleveland. I found in Detroit they have a similar setup, and it is important to note that not all of these children have been shot and killed. Some have passed away for other reasons. In Cleveland, for The Now, I'm Lauren Wilson.
And the Avon Lake Regional Water District says it's now considering their plan to chop down trees in Avon Lake. Yesterday, we told you about their plan to cut down trees in the Division Road area to make a temporary parking lot during their sewer project. A spokesperson for the Water District said the woods have been moved down on the list of possible sites to store equipment because it could be a protected wetland. There's a meeting to discuss the issue scheduled for Tuesday at the Avon Lake Public Library.
Before we get on with the news of the day, let's get on with the weather of the day. Tara Blake.
It's nice and easy for us here in Northeast Ohio. It's enjoyable. So step outside after checking in with us and talking news, weather, and traffic and all the issues here we have this afternoon and evening. But currently in Akron, some high-level cirrus clouds for us. I think we need to clear the lens. No rainfall out there. Just a little bit dusty, possibly. Those winds were at times as high as 15 miles per hour. They're continuing to dial back as we move into the evening and overnight hours. 72 for us in Worcester, 74 Cleveland, Akron. Right now, 75 outside your warm house. 72 in Elyria, 71 Ashtabula, and maybe even no air conditioning in Norwalk. 71 your current temperature. Winds again on the lighter side, a little farther south, but notice towards the lake, 15 miles per hour in Cleveland. So if you do plan on having dinner outside on the patio, you're going to want the drink on top of the napkins. They're not flying about. But 3 miles per hour for us, Coshocton, New Philadelphia. Farther south, no issues, but we'll all go down to that calmer side here tonight as the clouds continue to stay away. Clear skies, stars will be out, and overnight lows dipping into the upper 50s and lower 60s. But we move to that weekend forecast, and yes, I have some rain chances for you. If you have plans on Saturday, we've got to talk timing so you're not unexpectedly wet. Full details coming up. Guys, back to you.
Well, Tara, if people are sitting on the back patio waiting for somebody, be patient. We have some traffic to talk about. I-71 northbound closed right now. This is at West 150th. There's an accident there. We're told 2 people were injured in that accident. We don't have a word on their condition. But drivers are asked to use 480 West and then head to 77 North. That's your alternate. Very slow right now on 71 southbound as well. That starts at Denison Avenue.
And we continue to follow breaking news. An Ohio State trooper hit and killed on I-90. The interstate is closed right now at westbound at Alger Road. You can see investigators are still on the scene right now. And as you can imagine, it's closed, and this will be affecting your afternoon commute.
It sure will. Let's go up above it all. John Rutter right now, Air Tracker 5, gives us a breakdown now on what's happening on the roads out there. John?
Yeah, Rob, you're looking at 490 right now, and you can see it's a virtual parking lot because of just the ripple effect from all of these accidents backing up traffic. Now, 90 westbound is closed at 71, and there's no traffic on 90 westbound from that interchange with 71 where 490 ends until after West 117th Street. That's where crews have the, right here actually is where crews have the roadway closed, and if you get on 90 westbound headed west after 490, you're going to be diverted off at West 117th Street. But furthermore, here's traffic across the Inner Belt Bridge. You can see it's actually moving a little bit better than the last time we did check in with you, but it's slow like this all the way through Dead Man's Curve, and that is actually approaching East 55th Street right now. Let's take a look at our traffic maps to see how traffic is backing up throughout the rest of the area as well. We mentioned another accident on 71. We just heard that 2 people were injured in that crash. Drivers are asked to use 480 westbound, or excuse me, 480 eastbound to get to 77 northbound because of that accident on 71. You can see a lot of red there along 480 as well, and even starting to see some red on 77 as well. A lot of red obviously on 90, and that purple that you see there on 90, that indicates that that roadway is closed. Again, nobody getting down 90. If you do happen to enter 90 headed westbound between 490, you're going to be diverted off of 90 at West 117th Street because of that accident involving that state trooper. We'll continue to keep an eye on traffic here from the sky here in Air Tracker 5. Again, you got a live look at the Interbelt Bridge, but we'll keep you up to date here from the sky, and we'll be back in the Now Cleveland here in just a couple of minutes.
Listen to this. An 18-year-old in Austria is suing her parents for what she says is oversharenting. She claims her parents have been posting embarrassing pictures of her on Facebook since 2009. She says they posted more than 500 images of her getting her diaper changed, potty training, and nude baby photos without her consent. The plaintiff says she asked her parents to take the photos off Facebook, but they refused, so now she's taking them to court. And take a look. Security cameras are rolling as the thieves rush into a jewelry store in Texas. 4 men in masks run in using hammers to smash the display cases. Employees and customers take cover as the men manage to take off with millions of dollars in jewelry. Police say it all went down in about 45 seconds at one of Houston's most upscale shopping malls. Law enforcement say the crooks may be part of a big theft gang pulling off heists all over the country.
So, are you ready for some football? Twitter is. 10 of the NFL's weeknight games will be live streamed on Twitter. That includes tonight's game. The NFL struck that deal back in April. Fans are going to be able to watch on their mobile devices for free with the social media app. They can be watched in any country where Twitter operates, except Canada.
I'm Kamasi Aaron. Soon there could be a device inside every semi-truck limiting how fast it can go. Will it make roads safer or add more congestion?
Let's go high above it all now. A live look right now from Air Tracker 5. There are so many backups on local roadways. We have closures on I-90, 71, heavy traffic there is because of an accident as well. We've got it all for you coming up here on The Now. The Now Cleveland continues after this.
Where would you like me? We'll just do it over here. Okay. I do now. All right, you guys got me? I got you. 1 2 1 2. Check check check.
A developing story right now. The World Anti-Doping Agency confirms Russian hackers have done it again. The group Fancy Bear released more health information today about Olympic athletes, including 10 Americans. The hackers tapped into the database last month, possibly in retaliation for so many Russian athletes being banned from the Olympics in a doping scandal. The World Anti-Doping Agency says the hackers have released personal data of 29 athletes so far and takes this criminal act seriously, apologizing for any effort to smear their reputations.
It can be scary sometimes driving right next to those semi-trucks and the buses. Government says our roads would be safer if those drivers are forced to slow down. But the Now's Kamasi Aaron found out proposed devices limiting speed could also have unintended consequences you might not like.
Seeing a semi-truck from the outside is a lot different.
Slowly let off the brake.
Okay, it's off. From the view on the inside. I got it. Driving one isn't as easy as it seems.
Mash in the clutch. Mash in the clutch. There you go.
This was horrible.
No, you did fine.
And according to commercial truck driver and trainer Ezekiel Bonner, neither is adjusting to driving with the speed limiting device.
Limiters will primarily affect owner-operators who tend to run their trucks wide open, or some of these other companies that will allow their trucks to go 70, 75.
Many trucks already come equipped with speed limiting devices, but if a new measure passes, the U.S. Department of Transportation would require all newly manufactured U.S. trucks, buses, and other vehicles over 26,000 pounds to have them. The speed limit could be 60, 65, or 68 miles an hour, which the DOT says would reduce the severity of crashes, fatalities, and injuries.
I think it'll create more problems than it will solve, with congestion and road rage and everybody trying to get around that one slow truck.
Eric Haney owns a truck driving college. He says because drivers are limited on how many hours they can drive a day, a slower speed limit means fewer miles and less money. A debate on how fast to drive a semi-truck. that may prove to be as challenging as trying to drive one for the first time.
You would be a dynamo truck driver.
For the Now, I'm Kumasi Aaron.
And it's hard to believe, but tomorrow is the last chance you'll get to ride the Mean Streak. Last month, Cedar Point announced it's closing the iconic coaster. The Mean Streak opened in 1991. At the time, it was the tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster in the world. Cedar Point says it's making way for a future development in Frontier Town.
Cleveland fans still celebrating the Cavs championship win, and now it's the opening scene for the new NBA 2K17 video game. The franchise just released the game's trailer. Here it is. It starts with images of the World Championship banners. You saw J.R. Smith, Kevin Love sporting new rings as well. Then it goes to shots of the newest Golden State Warrior, Kevin Durant, star Steph Curry. There you see Carmelo Anthony. This game will come out tomorrow. And as you can guess, people are going to be lining up outside of stores as early as tonight.
How cool is that?
Put in my 2 orders right now for the 2 sitting at home watching, saying, "Can we get that, Dad?"
That's a smart move, I think.
There you go. We continue to follow everything going out on the roadways right now. We have several major accidents, and it's going to affect everything that happens this afternoon on the road.
And John Rutter is above it all right now, and he's in Akron Air Tracker 5, giving us a breakdown on all of that traffic.
Yeah, Megan, you're looking at 490 right now. This is west of the interchange with 77 and where East 55th Street. And look at all that traffic. You can see just bumper-to-bumper traffic on 490. It's the same story along 90, where 90 is shut down at I-71 because investigators are still dealing with that trooper-involved crash. You can also see some heavy traffic on 490 headed eastbound. That's because there was another accident on 77 southbound after Grant Avenue. Now, that was cleared. But we're still seeing some lingering effects from that accident. Let's head to our maps real quick to take a look at how backups are looking throughout the rest of the area. You can see heavy traffic on 480 eastbound. That is the detour that officials are suggesting you take from 71 northbound because there's yet another crash in the west 130th area. So they would advise you to take 480 eastbound to get to 77 northbound. But again, heavy traffic on 90, heavy traffic on 490, and we're seeing heavy traffic on 71. Because of all of these accidents. And we're also seeing, you can see some red on the Shoreway there as well. The Shoreway starting to back up because everybody is trying to avoid all of these areas because of these accidents. For now, we'll send things back inside. Let's get a check of your forecast with Tara Blake.
Well, not only that, we can see backups at least starting to move a little bit. This is 71 at 140th Street. So things, they will get moving, but the word is eventually.
And they're probably not enjoying the weather right now, although it is beautiful out there.
Hey, you can roll down the windows, guys. Some patience in the cars for sure. Hopefully, you can just sit and relax, meditate. That's probably the best thing to do. Or step outside if you're not in the traffic in Ashtabula. Look at those beautiful blue skies, some high-level cirrus clouds, all from a system that'll eventually arrive late Friday night. Hour by hour, we do expect to see some sunshine for us here until about 7 o'clock. Then we lose the sun and we gain some stars. 66 by 9 o'clock, out real late. You're going to feel the chilly air back in place, some 50s and 60s for us, but high pressure keeping us high and dry for the next 24 hours. We move to Friday nights. We watch a warm front get close, bringing in that chance for some overnight rainfall. Best chance at seeing showers and thunderstorms is going to be ahead of this cold front that doesn't officially arrive until Sunday, but it'll bring rounds of rain on Saturday. So any Saturday plans, plan on carrying the umbrella around, or at least the jacket with the hood. As we start out with the rain, we'll go through another opportunity around the noon hour, maybe even a heavier pocket or two of thunderstorm activity. In total, we do expect over the weekend hours, at least through Sunday morning, we could pick up upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inches in some spots. The latest model runs putting those numbers a bit higher, closer to the lake. Be a nice drink for our yard. If it's slow and steady and moves out by the time we head towards the Browns home opener, we're all good, right? Just a little soggy on Saturday. Browns starting out at 62. We do have 72 your high. Your Power 5 7-day forecast will be up again in the 5 o'clock hour, so make sure to join us there. But lots of 70s ahead, guys.
Well, the president may want to shut down Guantanamo Bay by the end of the year, but some lawmakers are saying not so fast. Today, the House passed a bill that would stop the remaining 61 detainees from being transferred. They want a new defense policy plan in place before anybody else is let go. That concern here is detainees would re-engage in terrorism. Maybe an effort to send a message here more than anything. The Senate's not expected to support this bill, and the White House is threatening to veto it.
How far would you go for your pet? A New York couple has successfully found a bed large enough for all 8 of their rescue dogs.
Oh my goodness, look at them all. And that's something. They got a craftsman to build them a supersized sleeper that could fit a family of 10. They say their own bed was just too small for them and their 8 dogs. So now they all get a comfy place to rest and a good night sleep.
Very spacious.
That's what they say.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. The Now Cleveland.
News Channel 5 begins now with breaking news.
Do we stay here?
Are we over? Do you want us over in weather? Okay, thanks.
I just feel like on the side of a highway you're a little overdressed and in full suit, right? I agree. I like.
Sure, it's great.
Okay.
All great.
It's too much prettiness for one picture. I'm sorry.
I was taking the picture.
To interview somebody who
And with kids back at school, it's time for many high schoolers to write their college application essays.
That time of year already. It might seem a little overwhelming here. The Down's Joanne Purton shows us how we can all learn from this.